not sort of out there enough?
No, that's not a valid statement. I'm never subdued by anything. Anyone who knows me knows I'm always dominant.
So do you look back in the house and feel like you were dominant?
Yeah, I was playing me, right? And I played the card that I wanted to play. Even if it worked for me, it didn't work for me, that was my own decision, right? So nobody at any point subdued me. Everything was my own personal decision. And you live with the consequences of whatever action that you take, right? And you must always be prepared for it. And I was prepared for my own consequence. And definitely, I wasn't even gunning for the ultimate prize. I just wanted an opportunity for people to see a tech queen, right? And I got that, and that's what I wanted.
Thelma, I'm sure you can hear me. How you doing? Yeah, so in the clip there, Esther did say that she doesn't think you deserve to be in the house. Do you agree with that?
I think she was actually the one that I wasn't supposed to be in the house. So the question is, if I think the thing is actually say from my own perspective, for me, I think I should be in the house. Probably I mentioned what I was doing, so I don't blame her for saying so. But she is asking us.
So why do you think she said? Why do you think your name was mentioned? Why
she said because I said in the house and I was in the house. Anyway, this female that was in the house. So whether I was supposed to be or was not supposed to be, I was in the house.
Wow.
Serious.
You also said you were one of the people who said Diane didn't deserve to be in the house.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to put it as deserve to. Everybody deserved to, but I don't think initially she brought it. Diane of After the House, fantastic. If Diane of After the House was in the house, I'm not gonna lie, Mercy darling, that was a threat. That was someone that you need to look out for. But Diane in the house was like coursing. She was trying to coast through. She was in the shadows, and she was not bringing out her true self. But like she said not long ago, she found out who she was, and now she's being who she needs to be. So that's just my perspective. As of the time in the house, no. But now, oh my day, baby girl, I got you, baby.
Just a politician, I have not used the whole thing. So I want to flip the question a bit now. I want to come to you, Tasha. If you were auditioning housemates for Big Brother, what's your ideal candidate? Does that question sound familiar? What characteristics would you be looking out for?
Characteristics of a leader.
Which is?
Which is confidence, one. So I would be looking out for confidence and maybe a little bit of your looks. But confidence first off, and how outspoken you are.
How many people do you think were that way in the house?
We're confident, outspoken in the house. I think Bbnaija was confident though when she came in. Outspoken when she was well.
Oh, interesting. Bbnaija, do you think you were an ideal housemate?
I consider myself an ideal housemate. Yes, I agree with those are attributes that definitely any housemate, if you're auditioning, that's what you want to see get in the house. But for me, I think I'm ideal because I'm not, I appeal to a wider market. I appeal to mums, women who have been at home, women who are single moms especially. I reach out to a broader spectrum. Now, unfortunately, in this society, a lot of things are superficial. And with this face, I don't look like anything that I've been through. What was important for me was to share what I've been through, my journey. When I went in the house, I was a broken woman. And like Diane did, I had to relearn my strengths and my weaknesses. So for me, it was so important for that message to reach those women who were just afraid to take a second chance in life. So yeah, I would pick myself, definitely. Thank you, Tasha.
Well, Tasha, speaking of ex-housemates, you were the one person who was accused of playing a script of people who had been on the show before. They were, oh, she's trying to be T-Boss. She's trying to be Cece. Was that a plan?
I'm too original to want to act like anybody. And coming on Big Brother Bbnaija, obviously it's a reality show. So coming in there to want to be another person, I strongly believe that will not work for you. And you said, how did I feel about what people thought about it? I think people just generally have a problem with confident people, and they kind of like mix it up with arrogance and stuff. So being in the house, it was me 101%.
Did you like the comparison though?
What comparison?
To T-Boss and Sissy?
When I came up, this is the first time I'm hearing this though. That I'm being compared to. I love T-Boss here, but the first time I'm hearing that, there's a comparison between Tasha and T-Boss and Tasha and this person. Right. But it's funny. I think if you watch the show, right, because most people watch it through social media, Instagram and YouTube, just like short clips. If you watched the show, you know that it was Tasha. Like, if you knew Tasha was before the show, so seeing me in the house, it's still me. Since I came out from the house.
All right.
I'll choose to be me, like.
A lot of good stuff happening, of course, even here on the Bbnaija reunion show. Please don't go. We'll be right back with more after this.
The housemate that did the most for highlights would be Mercy.
The queen of highlights herself.
Between Mercy and Taja.
Tacha and Mercy.
I'm actually on that table.
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
No, mashallah.
Tacha is on that table. Ike is on that table.
Everybody. It was too much.
Mercy, of course, queen of highlights. I did take some of the highlights. Of course, when I left the house, Lamborghini, did the mo, Ella.
Tasha also did a lot. Mercy. Tacha.
Mercy Lambo.
Mercy and Tacha had highlights. Only Tacha.
Tasha did the most for highlights in the house. Mercy.
Tacha,
Lambo.
and Mashallah.
I don't think anybody consciously did put in efforts to be noticed because the cameras everywhere and recording everybody.
Tasha, that had to have been sarcastic. You don't think anybody tried the most to get highlights on that show?
No, I don't think.
But even in the house, you said that a lot, that people were...
I did. Oh my, I loved it.
So you don't think anybody came into the house trying to get highlights?
No, I don't think so. I think people who came into the housemates to be themselves, really.
Mercy, you called yourself literally the queen of highlights. And of course, your name came up there a lot as well. Which is why I asked before and I keep asking, how much of that was conscious or intentional?
It wasn't intentional, but I think when Mercy coughs, it's highlight.
Don't cough now, but this is not the time. All that coughing, baby. It's not the time for coughing, but go on.
So that's what it is. Whatever I do in the house, so actually, is it that gets me into trouble or it gets me a wink?
Yeah.
So just that.
Yeah, Bbnaija, this highlights talk is very critical to the season. And even for, I don't like that term new housemates, but the housemates who joined at some point during the show, because there was a belief that a lot of you saw things before the house and decided to play a certain scripts that you thought the viewers liked. You know, was that a fact with you?
No. Even now, I'm surprised to find out that Thelma and Tata had a fight with a fish. I didn't know it was a fish. I still have not watched it. You know, I genuinely have not watched it. So I think it was funny that some people felt like they were people that could have the right to decide to not sell your highlights. Because to be honest, when I entered the house, some of those people started being in the highlights because I was in the house. So I mean, everybody with their own ego, different strokes, different throats, really and truly. But yeah, I didn't watch me personally. I still have not watched.
Do you think that the ego thing was a big highlight in the house?
There are some personalities that are very confident, that naturally you would associate with having a large size ego. Typically, as we're all here now, Omoshara, Tacha, Mercy would fit as in on the opposite couch. Behind me, actually I would say both of them fit, but maybe not huge, proportion. But there were some people who had no business, no business feeling like it's the fact of the matter, call it what you want. At the end of the day, when did you start to pop? And whose name was there when he was popping? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I felt like some people could say it and some people had no business saying it at all.
Mashallah, your name also came up a few times, and you were, like I mentioned with Tasha earlier, you also got compared a lot to a former housemate and even a winner, Effie, trying to pull the worry card. And then you scream a lot to the house intentionally to get camera attention.
Okay,
True or false?
First about the issue, issue. To be honest and to be sincere, like I said, and it was true, I never ever, I repeat, I never watched Big Brother Nigeria. Never. This was actually the first Big Brother Nigeria I watched after the show. So, yes, I know if he won Big Brother Nigeria, but I don't know what his characteristic was when he was in the house. So I didn't really know anything. I know it's okay. Boy from Nigeria also won Big Brother Nigeria back in the days, and I bet if he wasn't screaming Nigeria when he was in the house. So I didn't really know what we were talking about.
It was from Worry.
It was from Worry. That's good. For me in the house, I was being myself, like everybody would say, 100%. That was who I was, and that was what I was doing. You understand?
Did you exaggerate it?
Exaggerate.
Be honest.
Let me be honest.
Even when we were there, the shout was.
Okay, you see, one thing people don't really understand about me, and I'm going to say this, and I've said it before several times. I'm a nice guy. I'm a cool guy. I don't really scream that much. I know I'm being real. For those who knows. But
you're right.
I'm a happy guy. Getting to the house bring another side of me that has been in the past that I did not want to reveal. But until that boy Ike tipped my coin, then I had to tell these people, say, come, when I didn't learn, like saying I don't know where for the come. When I want to start it and I not finish. That was where the whole shout come. But to be let me put this part when it comes to the highlights. I mean, it's a TV show. Okay, Big Brother invites all of us into his house because he wants to entertain Africa.
I like this honesty, and I like what this.
You understand? And that is what he was looking for. You need to give people something. If I'm watching the show at home and nobody's talking, everybody's sleeping around, hiding under duvet, doing side talk, I will switch the TV off or watch football. But we know there are people out there who needs to be entertained. So why not give them a show? So that's what I did.
Do you think everybody did that?
Few people did. Some people don't understand it. Maybe when they were asking that question, if a lot of people were supposed to be in the house, maybe I wasn't true to know. Maybe I should have called some couple of names that are not supposed to be in the house. Anyway. So I'll put a name down. So for real, Highlights was the name of the show. It shouldn't even be Pepper Dem. It should be Big Brother Highlights. Yes, there's a queen of highlights. Yes, there's a queen of highlights in the show. I didn't even know highlights even exist until my man Fraud started selling highlights.
But he said he was himself.
Huh?
He said he wasn't selling highlights, that he was being himself.
No, Fraud. If you want to use highlights, you have to pay Fraud to get highlights. He declared highlights. My note is that, you need to add more because a lot of people need that very little clip of you to make you stay till the next week or trend. Because if you can't, they're going to remove you. And nobody want to go home so quick.
Real life. Come on, wake up. You left. You were disqualified, darling. Calm down.
Okay. Let's hear from Teresa. It's okay. Let's hear from Teresa. Why would you say that there's no Mandela?
Sasha.
My strategy was just to be myself and find love, which I didn't even see any love.
So we just saw a clip where we asked you and your fellow housemates who you think didn't deserve to be in the house. And Esther mentioned your name. You okay?
I think she was actually the one that I wasn't supposed to be in the house. So the person was saying Asha.